Welcome to the Honey Roads. Hum she horen dagdi, jan en toren ideri. Hum she horen dagdi, jan en toren ideri. Find the song in your heart. Follow the song in your heart. 'Twill lead you home like a guiding star. So find the song in your heart. Hum she horen dagdi, lian en toren ideri. Hum she horen dagdi, lian en toren ideri. To find and follow the song in the heart. This is what this podcast is all about. It sounds very poetic and beautiful, but there are times in each of our lives where it takes every ounce of concentration and faith, hope, renewal, trust, in order to do something that sounds so incredibly simple. In this episode of the Honey Roads, what I'd like to do is look a little bit at the cycles and circles that surround us. We live here on this beautiful planet. A circle drifting in circles, surrounded by other circles. In the heavens above, the moon circles, and it goes through cycles of light and darkness. And beyond the moon, we've got all of the other planets circling, each of them with a set of symbols attached to them that human beings have been studying for ages. And if we don't look quite as far as the heavens above, well, here in the earth below, again we are surrounded by cycles and circles. I am recording this episode of the Honey Roads just before the turning of the wheel in the old Celtic calendar towards the celebration of Lughnasadh, the beginning of the song of the harvest. We are here, and here where I live, we have just completed 5 weeks of steady rain, which is very unusual for the foothills here. But the sun has come out today, and the world is beginning, after this big long drink, to waken up and remember that it's almost the peak of the summer season. We're almost at the peak of the hottest days, and the whole of the cycles all around us are beginning to sing of the great letting go that will come at the next turning of the wheel, the autumn equinox. To be here and now is a big part of being successful as an adult, as a grown-up in this world, as one who is able to find and follow the song of the heart. And in the cycles and the turning of things, particularly as an adult in a complex and constantly changing world, it can be a challenge. Everyone, every human being, sometimes feels lost. What I'd like to do is spend a minute with one of my favorite poems. This is a poem that was written by an American poet named David Wagoner, and it speaks to me every time I read it and every time I speak it. Lost. Stand still. The trees ahead and the bushes behind are not lost. Wherever you are is called here, and you must treat it as a powerful stranger. You must ask permission to know it and be known by it. No two trees are the same to raven. No two branches are the same to wren. If what a tree or a bush does is lost on you, you are surely lost. Stand still. The forest knows where you are. You must let it find you. We live in a culture, a monoculture, that does not value stillness at all. We live in a monoculture, a technoculture, that values hyperactivity and extremes. The most dollars, the most views, the most attendees. But in terms of being able to value the great song, the great story of our lives, a practice of stillness, the ability to stand still and actually pay attention to where I am right now, is critical. Dreams don't come true without that ability. Our great purpose, and there are many people who believe that each of us has a purpose, something we're here to do in the world, cannot be realized without the ability to slow down, to stand still, and to pay attention, to let life find us. What I'd like to do, just to finish this short little episode, is share with you a simple practice. It's not like I invented it. Human beings have been using this practice as long as there have been human beings. Once the survival issues, safety, food, shelter, have been taken care of, the human being is wired, it is designed to dream bigger than just a full belly, just a roof over the head. And in order to achieve and to bring beautiful things into our lives, sometimes we have to be simply grateful. So a gratitude practice is a very profound act. It is a way of slowing down, of saying, I am not lost. Right here and now, I am in the middle of a conversation with myself. Right now, here and now, I am in a conversation with the sacred, however I understand that. Right now, here where I am in a conversation with life, with these beautiful cycles and circles that are all around us. Some people do a gratitude practice as a daily ritual, a daily ceremony. It doesn't have to be. All that matters is that it is significant to my heart, to the way my life works today. For many years I did this through writing, but as a huge journaler many, many years ago, I ended up with book after book after book, and I felt like I didn't want to write them down anymore. And so what I do now is I simply sit down and I have a little conversation with myself and with life. What I'm going to do is show you a simple little physical thing that I do. And I'll just play the harp instead of doing a voiceover in case you wanted to take a minute and use the visual to spend a little time in conversation with yourself, with your life the way it is, with what you feel a sense of gratitude towards. A gratitude practice can look however you want it to look. It can be in written form. I personally like it to be a bit more physical. And so there is an ancient tradition that human beings have worked with over the centuries, and that is telling the bees. So I am not currently a beekeeper, but I do feel that the bees keep my sanity. It is my anchor in my work with animism, in my work with storytelling. And so for me, when I sit down to do a simple gratitude practice, it is for me a moment of telling the bees. In former times, although many beekeepers keep this alive today, the practice of telling the bees was essential, particularly around big life moments, when there was a birth, when there was a wedding, when there was a death. And it was believed for a long time that if the beekeepers did not keep that relationship alive through working with telling the bees, it would be a matter of the bees would leave. I have a daily practice of telling the bees, and so this is how it works for me. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Honey Roads. I hope that the song in your own heart sings loud and clear and strong and leads you onwards, bold and brave, here wrapped in these great cycles, cycle of the sun and moon above, cycle of the seasons below, until we meet again.